Only 31 has joined. I am waiting. Tell your friends to join immediately. Iban. Iban. Iban is there? Who is from Meghalaya? Anyone from Meghalaya is there? Am I audible to you or not?
Yes, sir.
So is there any person from Meghalaya here? No one. In Tripura, there is lockdown or what?
Yes, sir.
Lockdown?
Sir, from 6 a.m. to 12.
Okay. From 6 a.m.
Sir,
to?
from 6 to 12 it's open, then lockdown.
After 12 it is lockdown. In Manipur? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
complete lockdown or what?
Yes, sir. It's complete lockdown over here.
Okay. From Sikkim?
Yes, sir. Lockdown.
Lockdown?
Yes, sir.
Complete lockdown? Total lockdown or what?
Yes, sir.
Okay. From Arunachal? Anyone from Arunachal? No one. Nagaland?
No. There's no lockdown here.
Where? Where? In Arunachal or Nagaland? Huh?
No, Arunachal, sir. Pasigat.
Oh, Pasigat. There is no lockdown, no? Okay. Nagaland?
Yes, sir. Partial lockdown.
Partial lockdown. Okay. In Meghalaya? No one from
Sir,
Meghalaya?
lockdown plus curfew.
Lockdown plus curfew.
Yes, sir.
That means you cannot go out from your home.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. At night we can't go out.
Where you are talking about, in Shillong or in Garo Hills?
Meghalaya.
Whole
Same.
Meghalaya.
Sir, Garo Hills.
Garo Hills. Okay. Okay, I have to start now. Okay. My slide is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yesterday we have discussed about the cardiac veins. So I just repeat. So there are two types of cardiac vein. One are small, another is large. The large one is called great cardiac vein or great coronary vein, where the vena hemiazygos or azygos vein opens, and at the point of coronary sinus, the impure blood will pour into the right atrium. The small ones generally present in the wall of the right atrium, and from the wall of the right atrium, the impure blood will directly pour into the cavity of the right atrium by the foramina Thebesi. They are guarded by valves known as valve of Thebesius. Okay. Now next, azygos vein. So these are unpaired veins. That means azygos veins, it is present only one, single. Azygos means this vein is present on the right side. And if this vein is present on the left side, the same vein is called vena hemiazygos. So in some species, the vein is present on the right side, they are called azygos vein. And in some species, this vein is present on the left side, that is called vena hemiazygos. But this is a unpaired vein. It will carry, here if you see this photograph, this is the heart, this is the diaphragm. So it will carry the impure blood from the dorsal part of the thorax. Have you seen blue color pipe here? Have you seen or not? Along with my cursor. Have you seen?
Yes, sir.
That is the azygos vein. This is on the left side. This animal, this belongs to cattle. Ruminants, that is on the left side. So this is vena hemiazygos. So in horse and dog, the right side vein is present. That is why they are called azygos vein. In ox and sheep, the left side vein is present. That is why this vein is called vena hemiazygos. This vena hemiazygos begin on the region of the last thoracic vertebra. So these are the thoracic vertebra. At the level of the last thoracic vertebra, it will start and joins the great coronary vein on the posterior surface of the heart. Already I told you, in the great coronary vein, if you see this photograph, the great coronary vein, this is the great coronary vein where the vena hemiazygos join together and pour the impure blood to the cavity of the right atrium.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, one still left. Sir.
one student left.
Yes, sir.
And third, now there is no student left. I think entered.
Yes, sir. It's okay.
So azygos vein, do you have any query regarding azygos vein? Or clear? Clear? Yes or no? If yes, then I will go to the next slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now coming to the anterior vena cava. You heard about anterior vena cava, right? Now how this anterior
sir.
vena cava is formed? Very important vein. The anterior vena cava is a large vein extending from the anterior border of the first rib to the right atrium. Okay, so if you see in this photograph, see anterior border of the first rib means this area. This is the area. Have you seen my cursor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And right atrium is here. So from here to here, this vein is present from the anterior border of the first rib to the right atrium. So only this much of length. This much of length, because the heart is present in between the third to fifth intercostal space. So it will come from the thoracic inlet, that is the anterior border of the first rib, to the right atrium. So this much of length. It is located slightly right of the median plan. So right of the median plan it is present. It is formed by the union of the right and left brachial veins, you see. Now where from this brachial vein is coming? Brachial vein is the satellite vein of brachial artery. So where from the impure blood will come to the brachial vein? Can you able to say? Brachial vein carries impure blood from which area? Hello? Hello? Are you listening or not?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
brachial vein कहाँ से impure blood लेके आएगा? Brachial vein कहाँ मिलता है?
Lungs.
हाँ? Lungs में bronchial vein होता है, brachial नहीं. Brachial artery, forelimb. So from the forelimb, from the two forelimbs, the two brachial veins will come. One is right brachial vein, another is the left brachial vein. When they unite together, then it will call the anterior vena cava. Understand? So when these two brachial veins will carry the impure blood from the forelimb to forelimb, they will unite together at the level of the thoracic inlet, and it will form the anterior vena cava. You see here. I will show you. Have you seen this vein? Have you seen this vein?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Have you seen this vein?
Yes, sir.
These two veins are united together here. That means this one is the anterior vena cava. And it will pour into this is the heart. So only from here to here is the anterior vena cava. Understand? This is the anterior vena cava. So how it will form? It is formed by how the anterior vena cava is formed? It is formed by the union of the two brachial veins. Okay? It receives blood from the head, neck, thoracic limb, udder, anterior part of the thoracic wall, and abdominal wall and floor of the thorax. From all these parts, the impure blood will come and join at the thoracic inlet to form the anterior vena cava. This is the anterior vena cava. So where from the anterior vena cava carries impure blood? From the head, from the forelimb. So I am telling it is forming by the union of the two brachial veins, and brachial veins only carry the impure blood from the forelimb. And how the impure blood from the head will come, I will explain that one later on. Okay. Now next is the jugular veins. Now jugular vein is, first I am going to speak about the common jugular vein. The jugular veins extend from the head to the thoracic inlet and are located on the ventrolateral aspect of the neck. Have you seen the blue color structure here, pipe? That is jugular vein, blue color. This is a common jugular vein. It has two parts. There are two external jugular vein and two smaller internal jugular vein to form the common jugular vein. So how the common jugular vein will form? How many pipes? So how many veins will unite together to form the common jugular vein? Common jugular vein will form by the union of two external jugular vein and two internal jugular vein. But in case of equine species, the internal jugular vein is absent. Very important question for examination. So in horse, which is absent? Internal jugular vein absent. Okay. Now coming to the jugular vein extent already. So there are two large external jugular vein in domestic except in horse. Horse may absent may. Now coming to the internal jugular vein. They are the satellite vein of the common carotid artery. Common carotid artery हमने पढ़ा है कि नहीं? So PC sir talk about the arterial supply to the head or not? Completed or not?
No,
Not
sir.
yet completed.
No,
Okay,
sir.
common carotid artery. Where from you will from where it will start? Common carotid artery. Can you remember? I have told. I told you. Where from the common carotid artery arises? Can anybody tell me? Are you there or not?
Sir, brachiocephalic trunk.
Brachiocephalic trunk nahi, bicarotid trunk. The bicarotid trunk will give two common carotid arteries. Okay. So internal jugular vein is satellite vein of common carotid artery. That means if you see the common carotid artery, you will get along with the common carotid artery, course of the common carotid artery, you will get one vein. And that vein is known as internal jugular vein. Where from it arises? It arises from the occipital vein. So occipital vein unite together to form the internal jugular vein and extends downward and backward along with the whole length of the neck, included the carotid sheath and lying internal to the carotid artery. So the common carotid artery and the internal jugular vein, they are bounded together by one structure called carotid sheath. So inside the carotid sheath, you will get the internal jugular vein, which is originated from the union of the occipital vein. So this vein is terminated by joining the external jugular vein. That means here you see, this is the anterior vena cava. So the internal jugular vein will come and they will join with the external jugular vein. So in the photograph only you have to see. Now external jugular vein, it is the union of the internal maxillary and superficial temporal vein. So you just remember how the internal jugular vein is formed. The internal jugular vein is formed by the occipital vein. And how the external jugular vein is formed? The external jugular vein is formed by the union of the internal maxillary vein and the superficial temporal vein. And these two veins will join at the anterior vena cava. So anterior vena cava, that means how it will form? Anterior vena cava is formed by the union of the brachial veins and two external jugular veins. That is why I am telling vena cava carries the impure blood from the head, from the thorax, from the lower part of the thorax, from the forelimb. All these parts, the impure anterior vena cava is the main artery which carries impure blood from the anterior part of the heart. So how it will form? It will form by the union jugular vein. ठीक है? ठीक है कि नहीं?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So these are the common or important vein in the thorax. So what are those? नाम मैंने एक बार बता देता हूँ. So First one is the cardiac vein, then azygos vein, then anterior vena cava, then jugular vein. These 4 veins you have to study, okay, of the thorax region. Now coming to the next one, lymphatic system of thorax. So lymphatic system means, what is lymph? Do you know? Lymph is a clear intercellular fluid. That means the cells has to perform the metabolic activity, is not it? Every cell has to perform the metabolic activity, is not it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So during the process of metabolic activity, the cell will produce some fluid, and that fluid will be accumulated in between the cells, and that fluid is a clear fluid. There is no color, and that clear fluid is known as lymph. So what is a lymph? Lymph is a clear intercellular fluid that is accumulated in the intercellular space. So intercellular means in between the cells. So in between the cells, the cell will secrete some fluid during the metabolic activity. So that clear fluid is accumulated in between the cells, and that fluid is clear in color, and that fluid is known as lymph. Now whatever the lymph is produced, everywhere there is metabolic activity of the cell performs in everywhere in your body, right? In the limbs also, the cell will perform metabolic activity. In the liver also, metabolic activity. In kidney cells also perform metabolic activity. Brain cells also produce metabolic activity. That means all cell has to perform the metabolic activity, means all cells produce the lymph. And this lymph has to carry to the heart, because otherwise it will be accumulated. If there is accumulated, if it will not drained out, there will be swelling, right? So there will be swelling of the lymph. If you are going, suppose if you are going 2 days or whole night in a night super, then sometimes in some of the cases the lymph is swelling. There will be swelling of the lymph. Have you noticed that thing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In some, not you, because in adult person or old person, if they sit for long in a particular place, there is swelling of the limb or foot, and that is nothing but the hindrance of the draining out of the lymph. So if there is in Sikkim, I think in Sikkim or some part of the Arunachal, if there is too much cold, then there is reddening of the feet or not. Have you noticed?
Sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
And there will be itching, is not it? There will be itching in that area.
Yes, sir.
Do you have the experience that the fingers of the foot are swelling and there is reddening and itching of the fingers, is not it? So this is nothing but the hindrance of the lymph flow from the extremities, and if there is accumulation of the lymph occurs there in the extremities, there will be reddening of the foot, or there is itching of the foot. So this type occurs in the frostbite condition. So that means lymph has to drain out from the area of accumulation to the heart. So the channels through which the lymph is drained out, that channels are known as lymphatic vessels. Okay. So what are the components of the lymphatic system? First one is the lymphatics. Lymphatics means they are the lymphatic vessels. They are either small lymphatic vessel or large lymphatic vessel. In addition to that, another component is called lymph node. So when the lymph will flow from one part of the body towards the heart, then during this movement, it has to pass through the lymph node. For example, one city bus is coming from Sifir to Aizawl. Okay, Sifir, have you heard this name? Sifir?
Yes,
Or you
sir.
forget?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, you are going in the city bus to Aizawl or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, where you are going to board into the bus? In the hostel itself?
No, sir.
Where? In the college gate?
Yes, sir.
So that means when the bus has to fly from Sifir to Aizawl, if it will go in a different route, not in front of our college gate, can you able to board in the bus?
No, sir.
No,
sir.
it's not it. If the bus will fly in the 0 point somewhere, okay, through 0 point, can the bus able to pick up you?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
That means similar to the lymph has to go via the lymph node so that it can carry the lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are present in the lymph node. So lymphocytes are the immune cells. So immune cells has to move from one place to the another. So when the lymph will flow, it has to pass through the lymph node so that it can carry the lymphocytes. If the bus will go without you, then the bus, the handyman and the conductor will not get money, right? If the bus will not carry you or any person, where from they will get the money? So to get the money, they have to pick up you. Similarly, to get the lymphocytes, the lymphatic vessels must have to cross via the lymph node. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Now, another important component is the major lymphatic ducts. So major lymphatic ducts, so there are only two major lymphatic ducts that we will come to, we'll discuss later. So what are the components? First one is the lymphatic vessels. It may be small and large. Then another component is the lymph node. And third component is the major lymphatic ducts. Of course, lymph is also a part of the component of the lymphatic system because it has to flow it has to carry the lymph. So lymph, who is producing the lymph? The cells. The cells during the time of metabolic activity, the lymph will produce, and that is accumulated in between the cells, and that has to carry by the lymphatics or lymphatic vessels. Now, wall of the lymphatics or the channels of the lymphatics are similar to that of the artery or vein. That means the lymph has capillaries, the lymph has small lymphatic vessel, then large lymphatic vessels and larger lymphatic duct. It is similar. So the wall contains the three layers like that of the artery or vein. So it is more similar to the vein because the wall is thin. So it contains tunica media, tunica intima, tunica media and tunica externa layer. And it also possesses valves. The lymphatic vessels also possesses valve because the flow of lymph is unidirectional. It is towards the heart, and flow of lymph is very slow. So if it is slow, that means if the lymphatic vessels do not possess the valves, there may be backflow of the lymph. That is why the lymphatic vessels also contain some valves so that it cannot go towards the backside. So where it will ends, the lymphatic vessels, the lymphatic capillaries carries the lymph from the smaller parts, then it will converge to form the larger lymphatic vessels, and ultimately the larger lymphatic vessels will form the lymphatic duct, and this lymphatic duct pour the lymph into the anterior vena cava. So that means the lymphatic system is connected to the venous system, not the arterial system. Okay, because ultimately the lymph will pour in the anterior vena cava. Clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, you see here. There is a terminology called lymphocenter. Now, what is lymphocenter? The term is applied to a particular lymph node. For example, this one. This is a lymph node. This term is applied to a particular lymph node or a group of lymph node. There may be group of lymph node also, which are constantly present. This is constantly present in a particular area of the body. This is the particular area of the body in a particular species of animal. So what is lymphocenter? Very important. This term is applied to a particular lymph node or a group of lymph node which are constantly present in a particular area of the body in a particular species of animal. So in summary, what I can say you, in a particular species of animal, in a particular part of the body, you will get a particular type of lymph node. Understand or not?
Yes, sir.
So they are definitely present in that area. Okay. So for example, parotid lymphocenter. This is the parotid lymphocenter, where parotid lymph node is present. This is the mandibular lymph center, where mandibular lymph node is present. This is the prescapular lymphocenter, where prescapular lymph node is present. This is the prefemoral lymphocenter, where prefemoral lymph node is present. This is popliteal lymphocenter, where popliteal lymph nodes are present. Okay, there are so many. I am showing only few. So these are the lymphocenter. That means if you want to see a particular lymph node, you have to attempt in a particular area of that body in a particular species of animal. Then you will get a particular lymph node. Okay. And these lymph nodes are very, very important to give the health certificate of an animal. So as a veterinary doctor, you have to give health certificate to the animal, whether animal is okay or not. Okay. Suppose after few years, you will be appointed as a veterinary doctor. Now your government may purchase the animal from outside. For example, Holstein Friesian, they want to purchase. Okay, Jersey animal, they want to purchase. Some of the breeds of pig, they want to purchase. So they cannot purchase. Suppose Holstein Friesian, they want to purchase, they have to go to Europe. From Europe, you have to purchase the Holstein Friesian. For Jersey, you have to purchase from the UK. Now, they will send you to UK to purchase the animal. Now, how you are going to purchase the animal? If animal is looking beautiful, you are going to purchase? No. You have to see what is the health condition of that animal. So one of the criteria, I am not telling that this is the only criteria, but one of the criteria is to see the superficial lymph node. Whether superficial lymph node is okay or not, you have to see, because it will indicate that if the lymph node is swelling, that means the animals are suffering from some systemic disease. They may not show any symptom, but there is a disease going on inside the animal if the lymph node is swelling. For example, the cancer. Suppose somebody is suffering from throat cancer. So immediately doctor will see the mandibular lymph node, whether it is swelling or not. So there will be swelling of the mandibular lymph node. And if there is a swelling of the mandibular lymph node, there is a suspected case of this type of disease. Okay, getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is called the lymphocenter. I will show you in practical, and you have to fill the lymph node. When you will come, we will go to the farm, we will show you how to fill the lymph node. Now, another important structure is the cisterna chyli. Very, very important. Okay. What is cisterna chyli? It is a dilated and elongated sac. You see. Have you seen this photograph here? White color structure, white color pipe. Have you seen?
Yes, sir.
And this yellow color is the kidney. This is the kidney. And this is intestine. Now, the junction point, have you seen? Junction point is a dilated or elongated sac. Dilated or elongated sac. About 0.5 inches in diameter. It is located around the first lumbar vertebra. So here the thorax will come, the last thoracic vertebra. You see, this is the thoracic vertebrae. So the last thoracic vertebra is here. So last thoracic vertebrae is somewhere. Sorry, the first lumbar vertebra. So this is the last thoracic vertebra. This is the first lumbar vertebra. So here somewhat. So that is the position for cisterna chyli. So what is the position? It is located around the first lumbar vertebra, placed on the right of the abdominal aorta, on the right face of the crus of the diaphragm. It extends cranially to the thoracic cavity. This is extends cranially to the thoracic cavity. This is the thoracic cavity because this is the heart. Thoracic cavity via the hiatus aorticus of the diaphragm and continues as thoracic duct. This is thoracic duct. That means what is this cisterna chyli? Cisterna chyli is a dilated sac where the lymph will come from the posterior part of the body. Okay, posterior part means posterior part of the body and the lateral part of the body. All the lymph will come and they will accumulate here. And this accumulation of lymph occurs at the level of first lumbar vertebra is called cisterna chyli. That is a dilated pocket-like structure. Okay, you will get a pocket-like structure at the level of first lumbar vertebra, and that dilated sac accumulate the lymph coming from the different parts of the body or posterior parts of the body, and it continues cranially with a duct, and that duct is known as thoracic duct. Next is the thoracic duct. Same thing. So the thoracic duct, already I told you, it will originate from the cisterna chyli. It will go cranially, which carry the lymph, and it will pour into the anterior vena cava. So this, the impure blood, sorry, the lymph, either it may join with the external jugular vein, you see, either it will join to the left external jugular vein. Okay. Either it will join in the external jugular vein or in the anterior vena cava. In both, in this area, it will join. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So what are the main lymphatic ducts? Thoracic duct. Okay. Thoracic duct is the main lymphatic duct of the body. Now, you see, I am telling the thoracic duct carrying the lymph from the posterior part of the body, right? Now, what will happen to the anterior part of the body? So, anterior part of the body is the lymph will be carried by the right lymphatic duct. Okay, there are two main ducts of the lymphatic system. One is the thoracic duct, one is the right lymphatic duct. So, right lymphatic duct, this vessel collect lymph from the right side of the head, neck, thorax, and the right thoracic limb. It is a common duct formed by the efferent of superficial cervical lymph node with the lymphatic of the right tracheal lymphocenter. However, this duct is frequently absent. So in some cases it is absent. So if it is present, the right lymphatic duct will carry the lymph from the right part of the body, anterior right part of the body. And otherwise, the thoracic duct is everywhere. In every animal it is present. It will carry the lymph, and it is the main duct, lymphatic duct of the body. So this is all about the lymphatic system. of the thorax, not the abdominal cavity. Okay. So I have to complete here today. So we have completed in the thorax region, we have completed the bones, joints, muscles, artery, vein, lymphatics, and the nerves also I will complete now. Okay, so I will just wait for 1 minute. I will focus another slide. They need not to join.
Sir, he joined now.
They need not to join, no problem. It is about to finish. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Have you seen the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the nerve part.
Yes, sir.
So spinal cord already been over by PC sir. Spinal cord.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Somebody is telling yes sir. Somebody is saying no sir. What? He has completed. He has thought about spinal cord or not?
Spinal nerves only.
Spinal cord not yet touched.
No, sir.
It is not possible. Brain completed. Brain.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
neural tube.
So anyway, he will teach about the spinal cord, but I will say a little bit of spinal cord and the thoracic spinal nerve. Okay. Now what is a spinal nerve? The nerve originated from the spinal cord is known as spinal nerve. Okay. So those nerves which are originated from spinal cord are known as spinal nerve, and those originated from the brain is called cranial nerves. So there are two types of nerves present in the body. One is called cranial nerve, another is the spinal nerve. The spinal nerve originated from where? Where?
Spinal cord.
Spinal. Okay. The spinal nerves are arranged in pairs. You have seen this photograph. If you see this photograph, this is the spinal cord. This is the segment of the spinal cord. Now, in this segment of the spinal cord, have you seen this nerve originated? Have you some thread-like structure? Have you seen? These thread-like structures are known as spinal nerves. Okay. The spinal nerves are arranged in pairs. They are usually 39 pairs in bovine and 42 pairs in equine. Okay. So in bovine, you will get 39 pairs of spinal nerves. Out of these all spinal nerves, the thoracic spinal nerves are usually 13 pairs. How many thoracic vertebrae? You will get 13 number. It's not in case of bovine. So how many pairs of thoracic spinal nerve? 13. It is depending upon the number of thoracic vertebrae. And similarly, there are 18 numbers of thoracic vertebrae in case of equine. So there are 18 pairs of thoracic spinal nerve. Okay? Clear? In sheep, it may vary from 12 to 14. The number of pairs correspond to the number of thoracic vertebrae present. Already I told you. The number of thoracic vertebrae is depending on the number of spinal nerve. The nerves leave the vertebral canal through the lateral vertebral foramina caudal to the corresponding vertebra. Already I told you, already I showed you lateral vertebral foramen or intervertebral foramen. I showed or not? You have seen or not? Intervertebral foramen or lateral vertebral foramen, you have seen?
Yes, sir.
So through this foramen, this nerve will come out because the spinal cord is present inside the vertebral canal. So the spinal nerves that is originated from the spinal cord and will come out from the vertebral column through the lateral vertebral foramen or intervertebral foramen. Now if you see the photograph here, you see this is the vertebra. Have you seen this photograph?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is the vertebrae.
Yes, sir.
Just 1 minute. Hello. কোনে কৈছে? Oh নাই মই ক্লাস কৰি আছো দিয়ক এতিয়া মই আইজলত আছো So this is the photograph. This is the photograph of the vertebra. Now you see inside this vertebra, the black color is the vertebral canal and the white area is the spinal cord. So this spinal cord I am showing here in a bigger way. Okay? Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
So this butterfly shape gray matter and outside this is white matter. So spinal cord is, this is the cross section of the spinal cord. If you cut the spinal cord, if you cut here, if you see from this side, you will get this type of structure. Okay. So this is the cross section, this is the dorsal side, this is the ventral side, two lateral side, and inside you will get the butterfly shape gray matter and outside you will get the white matter. Now you see what you will get. Each spinal nerve is connected with the spinal cord by two roots. So this is the spinal nerve. This is the spinal nerve. It will come out from the vertebral foramen. So lateral vertebral foramen. So it has two roots. One is this root, dorsal root, another is ventral root. Here you see, this is the dorsal root, this is the ventral root. Here this is the dorsal root, this is the ventral root. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So spinal nerve originated how? There are two roots. So already I told you it is in pairs. This side one, this side one. Okay, one pair on this side, one pair on this side. So two roots. One is dorsal root, this is the ventral root. The dorsal root is larger of the two. This root is larger than the ventral root. Now, the fibers of the dorsal root converge laterally to form a compact bundle on which there is a gray nodular enlargement called spinal ganglion. Now, what do you know what is ganglion? Ganglion naam suna hai ki nahi? Ganglia. Ganglia is the plural. Huh?
Group of nerves.
Group of nerve nahi hai. So ganglia is the plural, ganglion is the singular. Ganglion means it is the accumulation of nerve cell outside the CNS. What is this? What is ganglion? Accumulation of nerve cell outside the CNS. CNS means central nervous system. That means when there is accumulation of nerve cell, nerve is composed of two things, nerve cell and nerve fibers. So don't say it is the accumulation of nerve. It is not the accumulation of nerve. It is the accumulation of nerve cell. Where? outside the central nervous system. If the accumulation of nerve cell occurs inside the central nervous system, it is called nuclei. And when it is present outside the CNS, it is called ganglion. Correct? Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So what
sir.
is that? Can anybody tell me what is ganglion? Is called ganglion. Okay. Now here you see. Please concentrate here. So I will show you this copy. I will go duplicate slide. I will wait. Now it is bigger, na?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Here you see, this is the spinal cord. Inside, this is the gray matter. This is the white matter. Now this is the dorsal root. This is the ventral root. So in the dorsal root here, there is a swelling. This is enlarged or not? This part is enlarged or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
In
sir.
both the
Yes,
sides,
sir.
you see.
Yes, sir.
So this is called spinal ganglion. That means here it is. Why it is enlarged? Because there is accumulation of nerve cell here, and that is called the spinal ganglion. And this spinal ganglion is present on the dorsal root. Okay. So what is called? The fibers of the dorsal root converge laterally to form a compact bundle on which there is a gray nodular enlargement, and that is called spinal ganglia. What is? I am telling this is gray matter, this is white matter. What do you mean by gray matter? What is the difference between gray matter and white matter? Have you heard this name, gray matter, white matter? So what is the difference of gray matter and white matter? Can anybody tell? Gray matter is consists of cell body. You see here. Have you seen some dot like things here? So these are, what is written here? What is written? What is written here?
Sir,
It's not
proper
visible.
nucleus.
Proper nucleus of the dorsal horn. That means nucleus. What is nucleus? Or nuclei? Accumulation of nerve cell inside the CNS. It is inside the CNS or not? CNS means central nervous system composed of two parts, brain and spinal cord. It is present inside the CNS. That is why they are called nuclei. Okay. Now, dorsal root will carry the dorsal root. Here it is enlargement occurs to form the spinal ganglia. Okay. I will not go detail. Okay. Now, beyond the ganglion, the dorsal root joins the ventral root to constitute the typical spinal nerve. You see here. This is the dorsal root. Have you seen this photograph? Have you this?
Yes, sir.
So this is the dorsal root. This is the spinal ganglion. This is the ventral root. They will unite here. And this will call the spinal nerve. Okay. The dorsal root is not called spinal nerve. The ventral root is not called the spinal nerve. When the dorsal root and the ventral root will unite together to form the spinal nerve. So how the spinal nerve is formed? Spinal nerve is formed by the union of the dorsal root and the ventral root. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now dorsal root is sensory. Ventral root is motor. Now what do you mean by sensory? Sensory means it carries nerve impulse from outside the CNS to the CNS. Motor means it carries nerve impulse from the CNS to the periphery. So that is efferent. Sensory means efferent and motor means efferent. Now dorsal root is what? Dorsal root is sensory or motor?
Sensory. Sensory, sir.
Or sensory or efferent.
Efferent.
Ventral root is motor or efferent.
Efferent.
Now there is union here. And when they are united together, they are called spinal nerve. Now you tell me, the spinal nerve, sensory or motor?
Mixed.
Sensory, the spinal nerve are always mixed nerve. Okay, they contain both sensory fibers and motor fibers because this spinal nerve is formed by the union of the dorsal root and the ventral root. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
So spinal nerve are always what type of nerve?
Mixed nerve.
Mixed nerve. Why? Because they are formed by the union of dorsal root, which is sensory, and ventral root, which is motor. When there is a mixture of this, union of this, they will form the spinal nerve as they carry the component both from the dorsal root and the ventral root. So they are always mixed nerve. If I will ask you, justify why the spinal nerve is a mixed nerve, then you able to answer or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Able to answer?
Yes.
So tell me justify why the spinal nerve is a mixed nerve. Bolo. Sleeping? You are hungry? Because they originated from, they formed by the union of dorsal root and ventral root. That is why they are mixed in nature. So can we stop here today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You are speaking. Yes, sir. Very, I think, in a laughing mood. Is not it?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
You might be very happy now. If I say I will complete here today, I will stop here today. Are you feeling happy or not?
No, sir.
Okay. So I will meet you in the next Thursday. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Please go through my notes. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.